So how do we get started for our small cabinet project? First up, get onto the Google site and follow the link. And you'll see there your assessment schedule has it weighted at 40%. Yeah, you're not that interested in that sort of stuff. You want to see this and go, I'm going to make this cool little cabinet. So browse through the task, get an idea about what you're going to make, and then consider how you're going to customize it like this. So I'm going to add some cool Gothic features and some curves to go along with the drawer and two doors. But let's see what we've got to do to get underway. We've got to understand all the components we're going to need and what size they are, and we'll probably have to rip a few of those down. There's a question that's going to come up here between 68 and 70 millimeters we've talked about in class, and I'm going to get you to figure out if we should change them or stick it to 70, but we'll leave that one for later. Now it's time to get into the action, and surely you'll be able to do this in a month's time or whenever you get back here. Measure, mark, and cut, okay? Measure to length, mark it out with the tri-square so it's square, leave a couple of mils and mark another line so there's a gap to cut in, and just keep repeating that process until you can measure out all the components you're going to need. When it comes to cutting, you want to pick the right tenon saw, so have a look at the teeth to make sure they're sharp. But the bigger teeth don't necessarily give you the best job, and it might be the smaller teeth that give you a more precise cut that'll give you a better quality finish. Obviously, the better finish is going to give you less to do on the sand. When it comes to sanding, make sure you've turned the dust extraction on and you've got your PPE on, your safety spectacles or goggles there, and you're always working to a line. You're not just winging it and going, oh, I need to take this much off. Yeah, that's about right. If you're working to a line, everything will be fine. Also, make sure you take a bit of time and care on the sander here. You'll notice I'm not just jamming it on there and trying to make as much heat and smoke as I can. It's about getting it to the right length. You can always take more off, but you can't add more to it when you're sanding. Now that you've got all your components, it's time to label them with the number that they are, or the letter that they are, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, I think in this case. And you want to put your name on the end grain. So when you stack it in the cupboard, you can see all your components all together in one spot. Now repeat that process for the rest of your components till you've got all the parts ready for the carcass of your job. After we get all these together, we'll then be able to make some of the decisions about shape and joinery for some of our components. So whilst this isn't the most glorious part of your woodworking job, getting your components right to start is going to save you a lot of time down the stretch. And when you're marking out on your wood, make sure it's lightly in pencil, and that's going to make it easier to remove later on. I don't normally mark on the faces, but I've done it here to just identify each of the components. Any questions? If so, let me know. If not, it's time to get started on your cutting list and concept. Yo!